Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the MMC Ocular Max Forte. It is their take on a very G1-esque, big, beefy ram horn. Okay, now they already put out the first with the back metal for this, and so this one is not that, but it's still very nice. I'm going to talk about this. Pluses and minuses, of course. We need the transformation on this. Yes, I am transforming this guy. Relatively simple transformation and almost no paint to chip. So, but I did get this Josie Storm. I have a link down below where you can get yours to remember TH to support the reviewer. But let's take a look at ram horn or their Forte. Their Forte. If this is your Forte, you might be interested in this ram horn coming up. All right, let's get started with this, and almost like a brown box special, almost nothing to it on the box front, so not that big of a deal. And then I think this is part of it getting to show. This is part of the packaging, so they've always sort of done this where it has a case in it, like it's a real cassette. Outside of the plastic, you've got, you remember this, you get the, usually it was like the singles, I thought, that you got all this flap out, tells you all the songs and stuff, but this shows you the transformation steps, which is relatively simplistic, as simplistic as a cassette transformation can be. And then you have to pull it out of this, and we've got it in here. And good old cassette. I don't know, I've got to bust out some old ones to see if it's the exact same size, or if they made this custom to fit. But yeah, very 80s, very retro. It's funny that I do only really have cassettes because of vintage toys. These are from Spiral Zone, and so you can see how this stacks up to a real cassette. It's got this little notch here on the top. It doesn't have those pieces, those indentions. And then that's where, so it does have some bit of indention in here, which probably part of the transformation, but it doesn't exactly line up with a cassette. But this one is the Duchess Dyer. Duchess, Farewell Duchess. And then this one is Tank Schmidt. And yeah, so that works. And by the way, this is the cassette, plastic cassette holder that come with this to see that it does fit the cassette in there exactly right. And so, super retro. Get that out of the way. Now, what kind of detail does it have? It seemed like for a while we were getting them with some sort of like the sticker. We get stickers on the original G1s, which now that I come think of it, I should have pulled a G1 out to compare it to, but you would get some looking like there was this stuff in here, but not really going on with this. It's really plain, but at the same time, I think most people just want it for the alt mode anyway, but don't even care that it turns into a cassette so much. I mean, yes, we care, but no, we don't, because I just don't see anyone going, let me get my cassette collection put into alt mode just for fun. I don't see anyone doing that, so definitely not with this bigger ones, but still nice that it does it. So, I mean, at this point, what else are we going to do? Transform it. I sure am feeling some die cast here. Feels like right here, these are die cast. Anyway, we're going to pull these feet down. So basically, it's just folded in half. We need to unfold it in half. But it's never going to be just that easy that we fold it in half like that. But we need to flip these little panels down. We need to slide this out and this up. And see, this I guess we got to watch out for that piece. It's kind of made a little snappy sound there. We can disconnect the whole thing like that. We're going to fold this piece in, and then we are going to fold this segment out. Guess I got ahead of myself. We don't need this down until we get this out. Then we need this down out of the way, and then so put that back. I'm a fan of doing like one whole side at a time, but this is because they all have to come together. right now at the same time. Let's pull this up and then get that back out of the way so that we can fold this out. And then we're going to get this down. And then we are going to, let's go to get this back up out of the way. And we're going to fold these pieces, well, these pieces and the head. It's all going to come down and around like so. Oh, you're going to hang up if you don't close the neck. There we go. So you got to, so there's a special order to these things. Closing the neck keeps that from hanging up. And we have this out. There we go. And then this is going to be the inside, around the inside, around the inside. I wonder if we can go ahead and just take care of this tail piece right now. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Get that tail piece taken care of. Over here, let's fold this down. Take care of the tail piece. Now with that, we can bring these pieces back down. They are going to interconnect. Some interconnectivity to that. And then we need to position it like so that we can fold this all around. And fold it all around, fold it all around. And then we are going to start connecting stuff. So line everything to where the rear piece is going to connect. These pieces in here, well, I guess we can get those out of the way now. These pieces in here are going to connect. The rear pieces are going to connect. And it's going to tighten up. And we're almost there, pretty much. Tail is going to come together. You can almost sing that song every time you make a transformation video and stuff comes together. Right now, over me. And then I'm not 100% sure about what else needs to get cleaned up on it. It looks sort of clean. I think we need to bring this nose out a little bit or something. Going to play with the head. Oh, the mouth comes down. So you got to kind of push the head down like so and then get it into place. That seems to be the right way to do this guy. And I guess this is all supposed to tab right in. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to mess around with it a little bit more and I'll be back. All right, let's get in on this guy right here. So somewhere along the lines, I'm messing with it after the transformation and this ear fell off and I had to look around for it. So on a ball joint, it pops off. So you have ball jointed ears. And then my head's not tabbing in like I would think it would. But it doesn't really bother me. It's just a thing. And then as you mess with articulation, you notice that these legs probably need to come down a lot more as part of the official transformation to get them down all the way. Actually, the way it's set up, you get it out a little bit. Same thing on the back. Just get them out a little bit. And then I disconnected that. Doing that. Anyway. Well, now he's pretty much transformed up, and he looks pretty good. I gotta say, well, in all honesty, the best looking ram horn that I have in my ram horn collection. And I'm guessing the clickbait's going to show my ram horn collection. Because that's going to be in the comparison section, which I think is the most important part of these videos. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Maybe I could tighten this up on this connection right here a little better. Not sure. This little area. There it is. Wow. First time ever that it did better on camera than behind the scenes. But overall, yeah, looking pretty good. Best looking one so far. I like these bigger, beefier ones. I do like that you have plenty of articulation. You can do what you need to do with it. And it does still turn into a cassette. Very little paint, though. So the only paint I see is on his eyes. Really? That's it? I mean, I guess you can count these as painted. And the SDCC version, which I think was like 125, 150, I don't know. Because this one was only 78. But that was a lot more expensive. It has vac metal on that, which I would have rather had. Yes, I would rather have had the vac metal. But I would not have wanted to pay twice, or I don't even know how much that one was. I wasn't even considering it. But the vac metal would make it pop a little bit more, definitely. But still looks fine. Still looks good. And yeah, let's get into articulation. If you skip through the transformation, then you don't know, but it has an articulated jaw right here. And I feel like this all should peg in better than it does for mine, but you get a lot of movement. So you could get more head movement out of it if it's all loose like mine. And I just didn't get it tabbed in right, I guess. You have ball jointed ears to move those around a little bit. Head a little side to side, probably more than I'm getting out of it. You probably can get a little more. Legs will do all the way out. They can go in and just, so there's quite a bit. So there's complete like 360 movement mostly if it doesn't hinder itself, and it goes in and out. So more than I've seen with some of these other ones that they've done. And same thing on the back legs. Then you have, I guess you say knee, knee movement, and you've got foot up, down, left, right, all around movement. And they hold pretty well too. So that's actually really important that it holds well with all that movement that it has. Same on the back. No, the back hinders itself a little bit more than the front does, but still more or less the same movement. And then what else we got going on? The tail, up and down. He has what you could say is an ab crunch kind of thing, but that's for a dog or a rhino. An animal, it's a little bit different. So I think that's pretty much it for articulation. Pretty much everything I could think that you would need for a rhino. And now he just needs to find a baby deer and start playing with it, right? Is that what's going on in the world? For comparison, he compares to Steeljaw, their version of Steeljaw, which again, I didn't get the SDCC version. I got the standard one. I am cheap. But I felt that I didn't need to spend the extra money on it. They still look great. It's a really wonderful designs. I mean, when the Steeljaw came out, maybe there's something called recency bias. And when Steeljaw came out, I was like, this is the best one they've made so far. And then, well, no, I think I did say Ravage was always the best. Yeah, Ravage is one of my favorites. I should have brought that one out too, but great looking set they've done with these cassettes. Significantly bigger than, like, if you were trying to mix and match, like Fans Toys, which I love the paint. Again, look at the, just painted, just drenched in paint. And then we've got Takaro's over here, their little mini masterpiece, whatever they have going on. And yeah, this guy's seen a lot of action over the years, but that's size and scale. So does that scale well together? I mean, I think you could interact them with that. I still just like their whole line better. But man, I wish they would get this level of paint treatment that Fans Toys gives us. Yeah, that kind of sucks. And for the ultimate in the clickbait department, I don't know, is this ultimate? Does this work? But we've got a few different versions. Oddly enough, didn't get the G1 out, and so there it is. So we'll do one at a time with this comparison, you know, after I get enough clickbait in. I'm going to start out with comparing it to the KFC, and the reason you know it's KFC is two parts. Number one, the pink KFC I have that I just accidentally came across. I wasn't even looking for it. Let's use some illusion there so you can see them both. It has this giant horn, like ginormous. It's just so weird how that works. That and the layer of dust is thicker than on anything else because it's so old, from 2014. Just kidding. Maybe I'm not. But yeah, this one was touted as terrible and horrible, but it was like $14 or $15, and I think I was able to buy several at once for like 12 each or something. Some weird nonsense cheap pricing is why I bought them, and because there was nothing else at that point in time. Now the next one, I believe this is the DS. Deformation, is it Deformation Space that made it DS? I believe. Now I gotta go back. Now I've got that blaster over here. It might be kind of hard to get to at this point in time, but there it is. I think that's what this one is. And then there's this one here, which I'm forgetting which one this one is. I'm forgetting. So one's DS and one is something else that I can't remember. But I can guarantee you this. That's the problem with getting too many. This falls off too, so that's really weird. So don't got time for all that. And then we've got the Fans Toys. Now, people did criticize, and now since we're just with that, they criticized the Fans Toys. And there's a lot of good reasons to criticize it, because It does have this big gap in the top, which didn't really bother me. It's got a nice paint job and vac metalized, and the head looks really good. But he's a little more 3D than you got with the G1. But the vac metal is nice, but leaves a little to be desired. But here's the problem with it. I mean, yeah, they did charge for a whole set of them, I believe. It's more or less an accessory pack kind of item, and not the main course. It's not the meal. It's just like a side. It's like you didn't like your mac and cheese that went with your acoustic wave, or in this case, it was whatever they called their blaster, but didn't really go with it. You had to buy it separate, I believe. That's how it went. At the end of the day, I do prefer the MMC ones, stylized, size-wise, and everything. The only thing I don't prefer for MMC are the birds. They are too big, and I tried to just accept them being so big, and with that, you need the birds to be like Fans Toy size, Fan Toy scale, Takara scale. It just works better. Alright, so now this is my look at the MMC RMX-13 Forte. It's a 40, not a 40 pack though. And I think it looks really good. I think that they've done a great job, not just with this one, but with all of them. And even the birds are good, they're just too big. But with this, I did get this thing at Shosi Store. I have a link down below where you can get yours. And I don't think they're ever going to mess with the vac metalized ones anymore, like they attempted to do with the steel jaw one. But this is a pretty good release, solid release, and finishes up these cassettes. And I'm curious what they're doing next, cassette-wise, because definitely a win-win-win-win-win. And remember, TH, support the reviewer, help the channel out. Let me know what you think about this guy here. I know it's not vac metal, but it's still pretty awesome. Teddy Hanger out.